It's the season for superlatives. The greatest of the greatest. Really? Okay. No, it's true. I don't have any need for false modesty. What is humanity's greatest project? By far, it's going to be the colonization of space. We have this tiny speck in the universe. Our solar system is a tiny speck in our galaxy. Earth is a tiny speck in the solar system. Just by colonizing the solar system and using all the matter available, we should be able to get to about 50,000 trillion sustainable capacity compared to 8 billion you have on Earth. Okay? Going from 8 billion to 50,000 trillion. Obviously, humanity's greatest project. No contest. Is this the greatest book? Is this the greatest book for it? Yes, it is. Okay. So, why do I say this is the greatest book? Well, let's look at where we are with the colonization of space. The space age began with the Sputnik back in 1957 with the launch of Sputnik 1. Then Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, 61. And then Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on a celestial body in 69. Okay? Sputnik, Gagarin, Armstrong, and then crash. What has happened since? Yes, we have sent spacecrafts to Mars. We have done some, our knowledge of the universe has increased a lot. But really, as far as colonizing space goes, nothing. Zip. Zero. Nothing at all. So, colonizing space requires two things. The first is, of course, the technology. And you can say that the technology began with, there were people, the sci-fi writers, I guess, who thought of living in other parts of the space. Or Bernal was actually, you can say, Bernal spheres was really going in the right direction. Then you had, of course, the wonderful book by Gerard O'Neill, which was The High Frontier, where he described building space habitations. And yes, space habitations is the way to go. But nothing has been done. High Frontier was written back in like 1976. What has happened since then? Nothing, almost nothing. There's some thoughts that you're going to colonize Mars, which would, just be a mistake, because if you break up Mars and you make space habitations, you are at like 20,000 trillion. And if you try to colonize Mars, you may be at 2 billion sustainable capacity versus 20,000 trillion sustainable capacity. Also, space habitations score in multiple ways over colonizing a planet. One, they give you better protection from radiation. If you're on the planet and you're trying to get protection from radiation, you'll have to build a very thick roof and you'll have to remain underneath it, and you hope that the roof doesn't fall on you. Secondly, again, you'll have to be in an enclosed dome because these things won't have atmosphere. And then, just the amount of land you'll have for agriculture will barely, I doubt it. I mean, 2 billion is too optimistic. I doubt more than a few million people could actually inhabit Mars. But if you build space habitations, you got protection from radiation because these are concentric tubes. You got artificial gravity. Gravity is also a problem if you're trying to live on Mars because there's not enough gravity for healthy developmental life. Okay. So anyway, kudos to Gerard O'Neill and Bernal and other people who have come after him. There have been some more books written. In fact, I mentioned a few of them in my book. So of course, it was very exciting, and then there were these societies. L5 by 1995. Lagrange 5, so they said, okay, we'll have a space habitation in Lagrange 5 by 1995. So yes, the technology can be developed. The technology is already, a lot of it was there in O'Neill's book, and then I have also developed it. I've pointed out some more how these habitations given some more design features, but technology is doable, right? That is not what is holding us back. It is really the culture which is holding us back. And what is the problem with the culture? If birth rates and populations continue collapsing in modern countries, space colonization will not happen. That's a simple fact. Why would you go to space if you've got, in a situation of collapsing populations where you've got all the resources you need on Earth? The idea of space colonization is to have an increase in the number of humans. So what my book does is it also talks about culture. It says what is it that we need for our best possible life? There is this entire schematic here about how evolution links to the best possible life, and how doing our duty comes from evolution and is part of the best possible life, and why space colonization is part of the best possible, is part of our duty, and therefore working for it is part of our best possible life. So all that stuff is here, and there is more in the companion book, The Nature Ternary. But as of now, till the companion book comes out, it's already here. The companion book will just explain some of the issues more in detail. So it's already here. So the culture is here, technology is here, and this is the greatest book about space colonization. Space colonization is going to be humanity's greatest project. This is the greatest book about humanity's greatest project. I just want to make clear, okay, some of the design things that I've introduced are significant advances over whatever Bernal and O'Neill did.